What's going on, everybody? This is a review of the Indy 500 that took place this morning. This is the brand new 2020 Indy car with the windscreen. This is my car that I drove with the Rain energy drink. Usually it's Marco Andretti's paint scheme, but I tweaked it a little bit. I like the way this one looks. Race took place at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway with a 32 car field. One of the guys dropped out just before the race. I think he had internet issues. Some cars coming down the front straightaway there. New for this year is going to be that windscreen for driver safety. You have that pillar right there in the middle, and then you got the steering wheel down there. Big number there in the middle is going to be our gear, and then you get some tools down there at the bottom. You have the front and rear anti-roll bars. You have something called a weight jacker, which messes with the ride heights of the car. Fuel map settings, how many miles per gallon you're getting, and then your position. On the left side you have some other information about how far you are to or from a person with your fuel count, and on the other side is how many laps are left and then how your laps are looking. Pretty interesting view. That bar gets in the way quite a bit. Had some interesting stuff happen today. This is one of the restarts, and that happened. Completely legal, by the way. You are allowed to pass on the right side before the start-finish line. This is a view from the guy's car that actually did it. I am 2 cars ahead. This is brave. There I am. 3, 4 cars before we got to the start-finish line. That was ridiculous. Some of us coming down the front straightaway there. Trying a new setup. That was fun to avoid. From onboard, he just gets pushed up and then just does a lovely little roll there. Trying to avoid that guy. It's a fun race. I'm trying to get used to this setup. I just gotten it last night. I literally ran about 15 laps with it. Just getting a feel for it, how it reacts in traffic. It's pretty quick. Needed a little bit more downforce in the corners on the nose just to get to turn. So pretty much every pit stop I was adding 1 or 2 turns of wing. Little battle back here in the midfield. The replay started at lap 105, so I'm off strategy a little bit. I stayed out a little earlier just to lead some laps, and just stayed out a little too long on old tires. Made a pit stop, got a lap down. A few of us are lap down here. I think there's only about 12 on the lead lap right now out of the 26 of us that were still running. Showing some good laps. Again, just trying to get a feel for the car. We're past halfway. Car's handling pretty predictable. Back end didn't want to step out. You got cars disappearing there in the background. That's one of the problems with running the Indy 500 and other big events on iRacing. Everybody's using US servers, and if they're in Europe and their internet just drops a little bit, they're going to drop off the screen. They might pop back up, so it gets a little crazy in some races. Ours wasn't too bad. These guys in front of us are getting a little weird, a little 3 wide action, and I don't trust any of them. Everybody was doing some weird moves in this race. The yellow and red car is going to make everything interesting here in a second. Yeah, and there he goes. So what he did is he's going to try to make a pass, and he gets too low, so you'll be able to see him here in the second corner. So there's them up there. I saw it happening, so you can see the yellow and red car there. He's going to pop out right there. He hits a bump right there, skid, saves it, too much gas. Give him a little bit of room and make the pass. We had people wrecking everywhere. I didn't like the way my car was handling in traffic, so we had another caution, and I go in and add some more front wing. And here's the result of that. So we go on the restart, and catching the guy in front pretty good. I'm trying to see how the changes worked. I'm not getting a draft. I got a good drive off the corner, and I can't pull on it. So at this point, I'm realizing that to make a pass, I'm going to have to rely on the draft. I need to stay in the draft pretty far down the straightaway to make a pass. But you can see there, I'm catching on him in the corner. Now this guy on the left has been yelling at people all day on the radio to be safe and do smart, and he didn't. He tried to make it a 3-wide pass coming out of the corner and almost wrecked the rest of us. Here I'm setting this guy up again just to see what's going on. Get a good run, go up into 6, passing gear. Not far enough down the straightaway. And he's going to chop me. Whatever, that's cool. I'll catch you. Just not this lap. Just letting the car feel it out, see what's going on, and wait for people to do that. Now, because of the way the sequence works and being off down the lap, I'm trying to work out in my head how to get that lap back. And my plan eventually was to stay out and get ahead of the pace truck. So there goes the pace truck. And it almost works out. So as the leaders pit first and the lap cars pit second, if the lap cars then go into the pits, the lead cars then just repass them. That's how long it takes. So I've got to do it going to green. So I'm just working out during this point of the race how that's going to work out. We've had caution periods. We had one long run of like 75 or 85 laps where we didn't have any cautions, so that kind of worried me. Finally get past this guy. Got down about 3/4 of the straightaway. He tries to come back on me. Just not going to work. He did not have the cornering speed that I did. And with me being in front of it, just makes it worse. This red and white and blue car that just went by, he is the eventual winner. He led 137 laps. It's crazy. One of the cool things iRacing has done in the update with the paint here, you can see I look like a Dalmatian from a Disney movie. That's actually simulating tire marbles falling off of people's car and hitting my white paint scheme. As you can tell from the picture earlier, that's a clean version of my car. This does it automatically. Getting a good run on the U.S. Air Force car. Again, just getting a feel for this thing. This was pretty fun, actually. Guesswork on a setup at 230 miles an hour is not fun. Another caution. We're going to see if this plays out. So again, in my head I'm thinking, okay, stay at the pace truck. He's going to let me go back around. I'll be the last person on the lead lap. They take the green. It's going to be with their slowest lap because they're not full tilt all the way down the straightaway. I can get in, get out, and then hope for a caution, and I'll be on the same sequence as everybody else. Pass the start-finish line, get the call, pass the pace truck. There we go. All right, plan's working. Should be good. Go back to green. Okay, these two guys behind me are essentially the guys I'm racing with. They're still a lap down. Okay, so they go green. Pull down this straight, pit straight here. Nice pit limiter. If you do go on iRacing, you do these big events, please turn on your pit crew. It makes it so much easier to see where your pit stall is at. Some nice fresh tires, top it off with fuel, and off we go. Okay, so pulling out of the pits. There's me pulling out of the pits. You'll hear me get off the limiter here and take off. And there's first place. So it worked. I just needed a caution. Caution never came out. For 14 laps I was good, and the leaders eventually caught me. They were on rails. They were so fast. But for 14 laps I was able to stay out in front of them. They finally passed me up, and I just rode around hoping things would work out, but they never did. This is the last lap of the race here. I finished a lap down. It's a good race. I had no incidents, didn't hit the wall, didn't hit anybody, didn't run in the grass. So, it was a good race. It was fun. 6th place is nothing to be sad about when I've only had 15 practice laps on the setup. So there we are on the pylon. 6th place, number 16. Now the thing that got me is 5th place. I'd hear him on the radio talking about he's in fuel save mode. This is the last lap. He is coasting. He is coasting on the last lap. I'm passing the start-finish line right about now. If he doesn't pass the start-finish line, I get 5th place. He is now out of fuel there. So he's got it clutched. He's holding the clutch in. Going back on the replay, and it didn't happen, but any mischange where he's not holding the clutch and shifting, he's going to spin. So he's got it clutched in. He is now out. There goes the guy that passed everybody on the outside, still doing stupid stuff. That was a cool down lap, and he's hauling butt into the pits. And here's our lovely friend from overseas, passing the finish line, no fuel. 6th place for me. But there's a view of the car. Thank y'all for watching. This is the first video I've done in quite a long time, so appreciate it. They'll get better, and there'll be more coming out soon. Thanks, guys.